Hello and welcome back to the next episode of Back in a Mill. I'm joined today by Owen McDonagh, who is the director of DermaGlo Skin Clinic. Hi Owen, you okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. So nice to have you on today. Thank you for coming.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to ask you some questions and kind of get to the nitty-gritty of what's got you into this industry.
Bro.
Do you want to start by telling me a little bit about your background, Owen?
So I predominantly do skin. That's how I started with like all the skincare. And that was actually in a barber's when I started doing barbering years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I originally come from hair. But before that, I actually was an electrical engineer.
Oh.
So it's like there's a load
okay,
of...
that's very different.
Yeah, I switched it up quite quick.
Mm.
But so we're doing barbering for about 3 years. And then we started doing skincare and facials in the barbers.
Okay.
Realised how much I enjoyed it. And then it just got busier and busier. And then lockdown come.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of thought I want to do skin and aesthetics.
And explore that more.
And explored that more, yeah. Because I just found it more interesting. Because doing the barbering is a little bit repetitive. And also, you're not capped at what you can earn. But I think you have to have a much bigger team to have the same earning potential in that kind of industry.
Yeah, definitely. So do you find then that was... So I always feel like whenever I do a podcast with anyone, the best stories start with, and then lockdown came.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many guests come on that have said to me that lockdown for them was like such a big thing of how things changed, because we were all sat there with, you know, not a lot to do. And it kind of gets your brain ticking a bit, doesn't it, about what other opportunities there are. So how did you find then coming into skin, obviously as a male, because... as we both know, this is a mainly female-dominant industry. Absolutely. Did you find that difficult?
Well, because I already had the barbering clients, the predominantly male clientele, I would invite them for facials. Because once one of the lads seen one lad having a facial, they all want to come. They see it on Snapchat, they see it on Instagram. But as I started doing more and more courses and a bit more in-depth skin treatments, then my mum's friends started coming.
Yeah,
and then it's a bit like Chinese whispers.
Yeah, and I always feel like with men, it's like they want to do something, but they're almost think, oh, the other guys are going to laugh at them and think that they're doing something girly, even though they're not.
Whereas I think because it was in a barbering environment where all the men were there and everyone were having like face masks on, you know, they weren't nervous. Whereas when you go into like a pink fluffy Pampers grass salon,
so it was more of a safe place for them to kind of
definitely
enjoy that and kind of go into that and give it a go. That's so good.
I think that's why I made the clinic a bit more of a, neutral kind of feel, like with the green and the white, rather than having, you know, it's like not all like the fancy writing. It's quite female and
I think that if you get branding wrong when you're doing skincare and you have got male clients, I think that's so catastrophic, because it can
close the doors for opportunity. Definitely.
Did you have a lot of help with your branding?
So I actually did the logo on Wix. It was about a tenner. I did it myself.
Did you?
Yeah, it's only 3 hexagons.
Yeah.
But I thought we'll just keep it simple.
It's original though. I like clean.
Yeah, because it's recognisable. Like it's the 3 green hexagons. It's a recognisable logo. The colour, I like the colour. Yeah. The only thing we've changed on the logo, which is only this year, is the font of one of the font on the logo. We just made it a little bit more uniform, a little bit cleaner. Yeah. Just because when I did it, I liked it, but you kind of evolve with the business.
You do, and
so
I think I've seen this a lot, especially lately. A lot of branding has changed and evolved. I think it used to be a certain way, but everyone's kind of going for more of a clean cut, simple, kind of nice, because it just keeps it.
Yeah, definitely. And it was easy to work with on certain, when you're branding certain stuff, products, courses, and the way the letters were laid out, it was quite hard to use it on. It wasn't really easy to change on because the letters are so awkward.
And is that something that you'd not done before? You'd not done any personal branding or any business branding, so that was all new for you?
I'd always done, tried little side hustles. You know, I did the teeth whitening at school. Okay. Well, it wasn't school, it was like college. Yeah. It was called UBY. So that is still...
That's very entrepreneurial.
I know. I actually learned how to do a WordPress website at about 16, watching YouTube videos.
By yourself?
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
And it actually did work. I was thinking, how did I do that back then? I struggle now. But I actually got done for importing like these batteries that you're not supposed to have in these teeth whitening kits. So that got stopped, and then after that, everyone just had teeth whitening kits for Christmas off me.
That is so funny.
Because I had a lot of stock left over.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah.
You've always been, from what you've told me then, entrepreneurial. You've always wanted to do something
100%.
and push yourself. Because a lot of people, I think, haven't got that. And I think if they haven't got that naturally, I feel like they're the people that tend to struggle a little bit more in business than the people that take it upon themselves to go ahead and go, you know what, I'm going to take my own initiative.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try these things. And sometimes, even though we fail, if we don't try and do those things, you know,
100%.
we don't have anything, do we?
Yeah.
What would be your main piece of advice then if someone was trying to open a business with not much experience? What advice would you give to them?
My main advice would be to learn more of the marketing side first, because you could be the best injector, you could be the best, you know, hairdresser, you could be the best builder, but if you can't market your brand, nothing's going to work. Because I see really, really good injectors that don't have the basic advertising and branding skills and marketing skills, and then you get people that don't have the good injecting skills, and they're killing it because they know how to brand and market.
Yeah.
So I think even if you do it alongside the injectables course or whatever training you're doing, always be doing something marketing wise. I mean, YouTube have loads of it. Like, there's hours and hours of YouTube. There's hours and hours of like free courses from Meta and all the rest of it. So I think branding and marketing is a really, really big one to focus on.
Yeah, I think I would definitely agree with that. And I know what you mean when you say you can have the best work and deliver the best results.
Yeah.
But if you're not able to show that, then how are you going to attract those new clients and for them to want to come through the door and trust enough?
And another thing is like working on your personal brand as well. Because I think like it is your personality is going to carry the business.
Yeah.
Because like I can go somewhere and I might want something doing in the clinic, or I'm on, as in like work doing for a job, or the website editing, or you know, something like that. And if they're miserable, and because you do get it, though, you're like, they're so miserable, and I think, I'm not working with you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you come across, you're a good person, you're friendly, like hello on the phone.
Yeah.
But,
that's really important, I think. And I think this is where, again, you've got to be able to find that fine balance with social media. Because if you're on your socials and you're showing your professional side, great, people love that.
Yeah.
But people also want to know who you are. And I think it's finding that fine balance between showing who you are, but still being professional.
Definitely.
And not like going too far with that, you know?
It's like with the business, I've got a business coach, Antonia.
Yeah.
She's actually my business.
Okay, and Antonia's your business coach.
Yeah, so she's my business coach.
Okay, that's amazing.
So I was asking her a question. I was like, "Do you think I should put this on, or do you think I should?" Like, it was a day in the life.
Yeah.
And it was only like me getting ready, going to the gym, you know, doing a few clients, going around with the staff.
People don't want to see you. Like, before you've come here, you're like, oh, I went and had a chicken sandwich. People don't necessarily always want to know what you've eaten for your dinner.
But people are like,
but people are interested in how you live your life as someone that is a business owner who has set up your own success. And I think that's what a lot of people enjoy to watch, because they see that you can have the business and have the success, but still have your own life as well. And that might be you going to the gym at 11 o'clock in the morning. That might be something that person can't do because they're stuck in a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So that can really be appealing for someone.
Absolutely. Because people that don't even know will inbox me questions like, how do this?
Really?
How do that? And it's sometimes I think, why are they asking me? Like, you know.
You don't realise, I think, sometimes how influential you are, especially when you've built yourself from the ground up, because people are influenced by you, and then it's almost like a shock. And you're like, oh, they want to know from me how I did this.
It is a little bit shocking.
Do you struggle with that, or is that something you kind of getting used to?
Not really. I will always give the advice out.
Oh, that's nice.
But what you do get is people they're like, I want to do this, what do I do? You know, it's not advice, it's like, they don't want you to give them the full blueprint. They
want to give you the full answer. Yeah.
It doesn't just happen like that.
Yeah. And I think that's a little bit of a misinterpretation.
Yeah,
you can tell them and they'll go and do it, and then tomorrow. Yeah. But in fact, I mean, how many years in are you now, Owen?
So the clinic, I got the clinic in lockdown, so it's about 4. It's going to be the 4th birthday this year.
Great. That's amazing.
But as in like me doing the treatments, about between 4 and 5 years,
Okay. And what's your favourite treatment to do?
Rhinoplasty. I specialise in non-surgical rhinoplasty. It's like Meg said the other day, we're knocking, because she's not been working in the clinic long. She's like, we've been knocking rhinoplasties out left, right, and centre. That's all we do. A lot of rhinoplasties.
That's so good though. It's good to have a niche, and and I've seen your rhinoplasties; they're amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah.
And I think that was like my natural niche without even realising it when I started out. And I think that's what probably helped the business progress so quick.
Yeah.
Because I had a niche without me knowing it was a niche, because it wasn't such a like, oh, niche, it wasn't a big term then when I started like.
But you were naturally talented at being able to perform those, and then I think that natural talent will always push you forward, especially because surgical nose enhancement is so expensive, and there is a more cheaper option there for someone that's suitable for that, that can come in. And how long does it take you to do a non-surgical?
About 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we do like book 45 minutes out, you know.
Yeah.
Have a drink, feel welcome, have a chat with them.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's important as well, to build up that rapport with your client, isn't it?
Definitely.
100%. Okay, so you also have your training academy. Congratulations. It's not easy setting up a training academy. It's quite a challenge because I have one myself.
Yes.
What brought you on to opening your academy?
To be honest, I do naturally just like teaching.
Okay.
I enjoy doing it. Obviously, money is good.
Yeah,
everyone loves the money. That's what it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I do naturally like doing it. It's enjoyable. And what kind of drove me to do it was some of the courses that I went on were just shocking. I thought I can do that so much better.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, when I look back now, I think I could have improved here. I could have improved there. But moving forward, that's what we're doing. We're getting bigger premises, putting more, you know, in-depth knowledge together. We're putting like a support line together. And like, even now we still get students from a year ago and they'll still ring me for support. And I'll always give it. Yeah. Because I know what it's like to be in that position when like, oh my God, I've got a VO. Yeah. The first one happened, I was like,
I have never had one. And I'm just like this because
I've had 1 in 5 years.
1 in 5 years.
And it was a nose.
And again, this is what I was going to say to you with the noses. I think because they are one of the most high risk treatments that you can offer, you have to be able to have that confidence to be performing those day in and day out. I've taught girls to do non-surgical rhinoplasty, and they can be really, really talented. But if you don't have the confidence and the back in your own mentality to think, okay, if I get a complication, I'm going to be cool because I know how to deal with it. I'm complications trained. But some people, they can't deal with the stress.
Yeah, they even flap in the moment. Even having someone faint, so all the staff are going, just chill.
You have
get
to
an ice pack, get a Coke.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to almost laugh it off with the client.
Yeah.
I had a client once, and it's actually a really funny story. Well, it wasn't funny for the client, bless her, because she wasn't feeling very well, but she laughs now, so this is why I can share the story. But she'd been in, she'd had her lips done, she was a little bit nervous, and she'd come to the reception to pay. She was absolutely fine. And I was going through the aftercare with her.
Right.
And I told her she couldn't have a cup of tea because obviously of the heat with the tea. And after I told her she couldn't have a cup of tea, she fainted. And when she woke up, I said to her, I wasn't that serious about the tea. You didn't have to faint.
Proper Yorkshire girl.
Yeah. But you've got to make your clients understand that this is normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a day in, day out. But that client in that moment is mortified because they feel embarrassed that they've fainted. But how normal is it to get clients in that faint?
We once had a client in, and it was a friend that fainted.
Okay.
So a friend actually fainted up against the door, just watching. But because she was pushed up against the door, the receptionist couldn't open the door. She had like half a lick done, and I'm thinking,
oh my gosh,
like, Amy,
it is just drama.
Yeah, I once had a client. She didn't tell me she was epileptic, and I had a cannula in her face doing a tear-trough treatment, and she started having an epileptic seizure.
Wow.
And I thought, no. But I thought, get in your medical mode.
Yeah, you have to switch up in that moment.
It's like
and
game
go,
plan.
okay, yeah, I know what's happening. Cannula out, deal with the medical emergency.
Yeah.
But you do have to be able to have that anaesthetics.
Definitely.
And I think if you can't deal with that, this is where I always see people fail.
Yeah.
Because they can't get a grips of the nerves. And it's part of the job.
It's like we had a student once doing a one-to-one lip masterclass, and she fainted herself doing the. I says, "Are you sure this is the right job choice for you?" I was like, "It's probably not the best job if you don't like blood." But yeah, you got to be like quick on your feet, have a methodical thing that you're going to do in place.
Yeah.
Know where your EpiPen's at.
Yeah.
You know, first aid kit, and just get on, and then shit yourself after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then have a breather.
Deal with the situation and then think later, oh my gosh, that was intense. But, you know, again, I think people do look at people in the aesthetics industry and they think, wow, they're taking so much money, like they're doing so well. And that's what attracts people to the industry.
100%.
But then they don't see what we actually have to deal with and what we put ourselves through physically, mentally, emotionally.
The anxiety.
Yes.
You know, it's just I'm a lot better now, but when I first started doing it, I'd be like, is she all right? You know, checking my phone. But now, because I'm a lot more confident, 5 years, I'm like, yeah, she's fine. It's like we get students, she's like, I'm really scared. And I was like, just chill.
Yeah.
If you need to bring us to the clinic, I'll help you do it. You know, don't worry about it.
That's really nice. And I think that people will appreciate about you, Owen, because when you've been there yourself, there's no better person to advise another person when you've been there yourself, because you know what it feels like. You're not just saying to someone, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Like you do get it. Yeah. Because you've had it yourself.
I know that feeling.
And you get over it in time, and you can reassure them that as well.
Because the first time I had a hematoma, because it's literally, now I'm like, it's a bruise.
Yeah.
The first time I had one, I was on my own. I rang the doctor. I was like, she's got a hematoma. Her lips blue. Yeah. Because when I did my first original training, it wasn't the best. So when I went away, I had to do a lot of home learning, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand as well, is the education side of things never stops. Like, you've got to constantly watching YouTube videos, books, watching every video you can possibly find, you know. And even if it means giving you stuff a go in your own clinic, as long as it's safe, you know, if you want to try a new technique, as long as it's safe, try it on a friend. It's like stuff I wanted to try noses that like not many people had done, or I thought, let's give it a go.
And that is part of learning and progressing.
100%.
And that's why your results are so good, because you have taken maybe extra risks that other people have been too worried to do. And that's obviously why, you know.
It's like we had a client yesterday. She said last time she went for a rhinoplasty doing, she was like, it was over in 2 injections. Like, 2 injections. Mine are like 40. Bizarre. Because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, if there's like because I really focus on the lights and the shadows, looking from the front angle. Because what a lot of people think, it's just like one bolus there, you're done. Like, there's so many, like, using like the way the light hits the nose. You know, there's so many, because we use 2 different textures of filler as well. We will use multiple fillers. Not on every single nose that we do, but we'll use multiple fillers on the same nose.
Dependent on whether you want to lift, contour, shape. Yeah, that's like interesting.
If we're trying to like blend a certain bone that's got a scar, we'll use fine out on the scar, and then we'll do the structure with a sub-Q. Yeah. So we do. It's like when you go to learn, it's like whack.
They will teach you how to do that with one syringe. But you've really kind of got that craft and that master down to a T. And we all know what it's like working with scarring. If you have a filler around a scar, the filler will just wrap around. So obviously
it turns into more or less a rolling scar. But what I think as well is a lot of people just follow the book. They follow the book all the time, even on like when they're marking the face. And they've got to naturally have the artistic. They've got to have the artistic eye. Because when I'm teaching and I'm like, what can you see? And she's pointing somewhere completely different. Thinking, that's good, but what about that?
And I notice this as well. Like, you'll notice the students that you get that naturally have the eye and they can see it, or you're kind of having to teach them how to see it. And I always think the better students are the ones that naturally have that, and they tend to be the ones that do better because they already have that skill, which sometimes is difficult to teach if you don't naturally have it. I don't know how you feel when you're teaching.
I know on the first day of injecting, I'm like, she's going to make it. She won't. Like, some of them, and also some of them, I think, if they've been given the money to do the course, I notice this as well. If you get someone that's, you know, lucky, they're well off, you know, the parents have just paid for the course, and they're so blasé, and like, oh well, because when they come, because we do like reviews and stuff, and I was like, how are you getting on? Oh, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm doing something else. And I'm thinking, if my mum paid for that course, I didn't do it. She's saying,
but I think this is the difference in people that kind of do come from nothing and work for themselves, and it is mindset. You know, people's mindset is so different. and you will find that someone who has worked, they've, you know, been in, I don't know, Boots, for example, and they've earned their own money.
Yeah.
It's precious to them. And then they've used that to actually reinvest in themselves.
Yeah.
That's a massive step for someone to take that doesn't have a lot. And we all know that aesthetics is constantly about reinvestment.
Definitely. I'm constantly doing courses. Even like with the business coaches, the online coaches. There's so many different things. Like, this is another thing, like, we don't understand you have to pay for. Like, business coaching isn't cheap.
No.
You know, like, all the videography, like, the accountants, everything, like, it all does add up. And people think, oh my God, like, you're on holiday once a month. You know, it's not that simple.
It's not. And then when you are on holiday, you never stop.
No.
I never do.
I don't normally ever stop, but we've finally taken Meg on. So she has taken a lot of the pressure off.
So Meg is your manager.
And she handles all the logistics side of things.
Okay.
And so we're just in the transition period now where she's kind of starting to learn everything. She's brilliant. She's picked it up so quick. It come very natural because her and her partner did the videography for our clinic.
Okay.
And then I said, oh, like, I think he has to be a social media manager. Yeah, so she was a social media manager. And then after like 2 days, we started talking. I was like, she's so good. Like, he was good with the client. She's naturally.
When you've got someone good like that, you have to grab them.
I was like,
quick.
Yeah. And then we were sat down in the new venue. I was like, so, you know, and he was like, yeah, so. So that's where.
That's so nice. And it's a luxury to have that.
100%.
And it's something you can't have at the start because you don't have the investment to do it. So you do end up being the marketing manager, the injector, the clinic runner, the cleaner sometimes, you know. I know when I walk into the clinic, I've got 1,000 boxes. You know, I'm in a flat. I'm trying to carry my Starbucks, like saving it for dear life because I've got 1,000 other things on my laptop.
Just seeing you walking, talk about boxes and everything's falling over and can't wave to Barbara at the same time.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's how life is. And I think that's what we don't see on Instagram. We see a lot of wins, but not always the stuff that's kind of like not so glam.
Yeah.
And you have obviously done very well to be in a position to have a manager that's able to take on those stresses for you. And it just gives you a little bit more chill time
gives,
to
like,
do.
time to work on, like, I know everyone says you need to work on the business.
Yeah.
But it is so important. It's like when you're trying to do a specific task or learn a specific task, but the phone's ringing. Yeah. You know, can I make a disappointment? My kid's poorly, can I cancel? You know. And then you got a billion people ringing, then books is popping up, then you don't end up doing anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
But I can just like, so today we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it. I think I was first couple of years of the barber, just started doing the skin, but I knew I want like long term.
Sorry.
I knew long term that I did want to do the academies. I'd vision like the clinic in my head. I was like, I'm definitely gonna do that. So I wrote down on a piece of paper. Like, I want to have this by this year. I want to have the clinic. I want to have an academy and something else. I didn't get the last one, so I forgot about it. But so I rolled it up and I put it under one of my mum's canvases in the living room. And this was like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then when she come to decorate about 12 months ago, obviously we'd all forgot about, when you like a dusty rolled up piece of paper. So she pulled it and then she sent me the text message like, oh my God. So it was the picture like, I want by 2023, I would like a clinic, an academy, and all the rest. So she keeps it in her purse now.
Oh, that is the cutest story. Cute. And she keeps it.
Yeah, in her purse. And then so I've done another one now. She keeps that one, and then we'll look at it again in another, 5 years.
That's so nice. Yeah. And that's so powerful that you were able to write down those things.
Definitely.
And brings obviously into manifestation that you actually decided what you wanted. You said you didn't get the last thing on the.
I can't even remember what. It probably a little bit out there, knowing me. Like,
okay.
It'd be like a Lamborghini or something.
Yeah, probably was a bit too over the top. Yeah.
For early stages. So I've done another one. Got them goals with my mum in a purse. So we'll open that up in a few more years and see where we're at.
That's so nice. Is that something that you believe in? Is that
100%? I do believe in like manifest. I don't believe like people say, thank you, universe, for the Lamborghini, and then it pops up or something.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know, right? Thank you for my, big detached house that I get next week.
Yeah.
But I do believe in thinking, visioning it. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna work for this. Having a strategy in place.
Yeah.
And I also believe, being negative in your own head, because I do get like, oh, but I can't do it, but and they're like just so miserable. I'm thinking, but everything I'm trying to say to you, like, you're finding the excuse to go against it, because I'm a big risk taker, even like with the clinic. I mean, I was doing facials and stuff, but I wasn't doing enough to cover, you know, shop rent, and then to buy the equipment, and then to buy it. So I really winged that, and that's where I had to kind of. So when I opened the clinic, I used to have my barbering chair in the back of the clinic, and I still made it look like a proper barber's made an Instagram page because I made it look good.
Yeah.
But like, so through the day I would work in the clinic, and then on a night the clinic would close and the men would come through the clinic, and then do the barbering till late. And then slowly, as the clinic got bigger, I could, like, you know, do less and less hair. And then when it took off, I just got rid of it and put another bed in there.
Yeah. Okay. That was really smart. And I'm definitely picking up that you've always used your head.
Yeah.
I know that sounds so like, oh yeah, well, of course you use your head. But some people don't. And I think people that are negative, they are the people that tend to get left behind, because negativity and negative thinking doesn't bring you anything.
No.
It's just, you almost manifest negativity.
Definitely.
In a way, and you bring it into your life. Whereas if you're like, you know what, that didn't go so well, however, I am able to put a plan in place to not let that happen again and learn. Whereas I think if you make a mistake and you dwell, there's no progression.
That's it. It's like with the London thing that I tried. I give it a go because, you know, you're just excited, like, because you see all these clinics and you see Dubai, London, and I thought, well, I want that.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a go, and then realised it's not as fun as it sounds.
Yeah.
Taking all your equipment to London, the marketing involved, because obviously it is the population, the amount of clinics down there.
Yeah.
And then the rent was really, really high, and I didn't really have like a relationship with the clinic anyway. Didn't have a relationship with the clinic anyway down there. So I was going down there and I was thinking, what am I doing? Like, I've got 3 clients today. I could have been in my own clinic, smashing, you know, 15 appointments.
Just almost to say, I'm in London, because we do get this on Instagram. We do feel this guilt when we see people that are smashing it, and we're like, oh, I need to do that. But actually, if it doesn't align with what makes you happy, you end up resenting it, right?
100%. So that's like one of the mistakes I made, definitely. Like, stop trying to keep up with everyone else just because you've seen someone else in London. Give it a go. And I thought, let's cut this a day. Let's cut it at a loss now, because like rent was really high. I wasn't enjoying it because the people down there are not as fun. Yeah, you know, they are quite miserable.
I've done a few London clinics.
Yeah, they're not, you know, like, you can have a proper laugh with the people in these, and they're like, and then and another thing is, I do build like a really good relate.
Owen, you are so funny. I need to tell you, I need to stop to tell you how funny you are, because you just say what comes into your head.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, you need to be careful.
That's fine.
But with the clinic in Leeds, like, I've got so many friendships out of the clinic. I spend the time, you know, it's like, we had Layla's like a little cutie, and she's 75, I think.
Aww.
Like, a few months ago, she was poorly. We sent a big bouquet of flowers to her house.
Aww.
She's like, she messages, it's like, you just made an old lady very happy.
Aww.
So when you like have them relationships with your clients, they're going to be like the loyal ones. They're going to come back.
Yeah.
And then eventually you make that good friends with me. You feel guilty for charging them.
Yeah.
So that's my next boundary now.
Yeah. Do you know what's like come across to me so much talking to you just for this short amount of time? How genuine you are.
Yeah.
You're so genuine. And I think this is what we need more of in the industry.
Yeah.
Not people that are just coming in to make the money and to be like, you know, I can tell just from speaking to you how much you genuinely care, how much of a nice person you are, and how much you actually want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think we lose sight of this, and we just want to keep up with Insta and this, that, and the other. But actually, you have to do what makes you happy. And it's like with the lady that you sent the flowers to.
Yeah.
Someone that didn't really genuinely care wouldn't have done that.
No.
You know, that was really sweet.
We do. I've got so many friendships from the clinic. I've got a couple that I made friends with. They're called Angela and Mark. She come for one appointment, and when she left, I was like, she's the cutest lady ever. Like, she's the sweetest person ever. We're like, we need her. Why can't every client be like her? And then when she comes to the next appointment, she said, oh, when I left, I want to be friends with him. And a few appointments later, we've been invited to the wedding. Oh. And then we was in India together, like.
What?
Yeah, we went on like, I flew out with my family to India, And then her and her partner flew out to India, met
Oh
us.
wow.
And now we meet up for lunch all the time, like, and we've got really good relationships.
That's so
with a
nice.
lot of clients.
Yeah.
And just being personable, and you know, because some people, they open a clinic, they're overly professional, as in they don't want to come across as being friendly because I think it looks unprofessional, which I think that's like quite old fashioned. Like you go into something, it's very like, what's the word, corporate vibes, you know, in a clinic. And it's like, whereas now I'm getting, you know, Sandra 70 sending me your outfit on, you know, being to Spain. I'm thinking, you know, but it's just so cute.
But that's nice, and that's what the job is about. It's about making people feel better, look better, and feeling like they can come to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I think that ties in really well with complications, because I had a girl yesterday that came to see me. She'd had some threads done at a clinic she'd not been to before. She didn't like them, but because she'd not built up a personal relationship with the lady that did them, she didn't feel able to say that she didn't like them or was everything normal and okay. And I think building relationships, even though some people might say, okay, that might be bordering along the lines of maybe too unprofessional, there has to be that personable
boundary
there, so that they can say to you, you know what, I know Owen, I know he cares, and I know he would want to know if I wasn't sure or if I had a question. And I think that makes it easier for the clients to come to you when you're offering them those kind of personal experiences. It's
definitely
what it's about. You know, it's an experience, isn't it, when you go to a clinic? It's not just getting a treatment anymore.
That's it, it's the whole experience. Like I do go like, there's like so many little bits that I do, you know, trying to make the whole experience better. Like the gift bags at every appointment, air fresheners, personalised chocolate bars.
So
you know,
nice.
we've even got Mentos with the logo on. You know, just trying to make.
That's what people remember.
Yeah, you know, trying to make them extra little bits. But I think even like in the consultation side of things as well, making them feel so comfortable and not pushed into anything. Because I'm like, I would recommend this, but please don't feel like you have to do it. Like, because some people will think, oh my God, I'm sat in the chair now. I've got to spend 600 quid on this package. And I'm like, please make sure you feel 100% comfortable. Don't just say yes for the sake of saying yes.
So if you had a client and you were about to perform a non-surgical nose enhancement and you picked up that they weren't sure, how would you handle that situation?
So body language is like, you learn body language skills really quick, like it's a quick giveaway. But there'll be just like some little pointers they'll give off, like, you know, they'll be asking more questions, nervous. I'm like, you sure you want to go ahead with this? Like, is there any questions? Because normally what we'll do is we'll either do, so they can send us a photo. We call it DermaGlo Vision Pro. It's like a thing on our website. So they can send us a photo of the side profile, and we'll show them what they will look like.
Oh wow! So you do a simulation?
We do like a stimulation.
That's great.
Is it simulation?
Simulation.
Yeah. Simulation of what it will look like before it's done. So we can do profile balancing with this DermaGlo Vision Pro.
Oh wow,
so
that's amazing.
Yeah, so we do mainly side profiles. We can show them what like, give them a cost. And that's for like, you know, people that are further away. Because we can do Zoom when it's a little bit like, you know.
No, that's great. That's such a great service, and not a lot of people offer that.
No.
And people do ultimately worry that they're going to look different or like a different person. So if you can actually visualize that for them, then that's amazing. That's really, really good.
And it gives people the go ahead, you know, the confidence, like, because I say you would look good with like chin a little bit here.
Yeah.
And I can give them like an idea of what it will. I say, don't expect it to be like
exactly. Yeah, of course.
But more often than not, it is very, very similar, because I know like where to push the, you know, the software to, because there's no point in dragging someone's chin out, you know, halfway down the road.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, when we know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, definitely, that's an amazing service. And before we started filming, you told me that you were doing subscriptions now. I really want to hear more about your subscriptions and kind of what brought you to that and what you're offering for your subscriptions.
So we started a few different subscriptions. There's going to be one for the skin. There'll be like 2 tiers, you know. Obviously the younger skin types are not going to need as much. So there's going to be one for the skin, and there's also going to be one for older skin, and then we are going to do a Botox or an anti-wrinkle treatment. Going to call it Tox Club.
Okay.
So you pay a monthly fee, and you come, I think, 4 to 6 times a year, and you're constantly wrinkle free. And
love this.
And also, it's a lot more affordable. So it's like maybe, well, I think it worked out about £25 a week.
Oh wow.
You know,
okay.
And it's because when it hits someone, because £250 is a lot of money to a lot of people.
It is.
Well, it's a lot of money to everyone. But if you have it just coming out your bank, like a Netflix, you know, come and have your Botox done. You have to stress about it, and that's moving forward with that one. And the other one, the skin one, is the two companies that we use, like Hydrofacial and New Aesthetics. Have you heard of New?
I have.
So New Aesthetics is like a medical grade skincare company. We can provide like really high strengths of active ingredients, but without the side effects. Because
oh, that's great.
yeah. So they own the sorry, because that.
It's okay.
So they own they have like a compound called DermaShield. What it basically does, in your skin, you have something called C receptors, and your C receptors can sense the pH on your skin. So a little bit like your anti-wrinkle treatments will stop the the impulse of the muscle from contracting. Well, this binds to the end of the C receptor, and your skin can't feel acids or certain, so it blocks the signal, so you can use a really high strength treatment, but without like the burns, the stinging, all the peeling.
Okay, that's great.
So it's they're like a really good company to work with, and they're affordable because we've used companies in the past a little bit extreme, and the side effects that come along with it. I won't say like the other companies' names, but they're a little bit too strong.
You need something a little bit more,
and forgiving as well, because you say to, I don't know, Sally, don't put retinol around your eyes. She goes over, she goes like this,
and then
she's
it's
ringing me saying, I've got burnt eyes.
Yeah.
So with this, it's a little bit safer for the client.
Yeah.
There's, in the actual in-clinic treatments that we're going to be doing on the subscription, there's 85, sorry, there's 85 different peels.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's really, really bespoke. So we do every Fitzpatrick, skin type.
Yeah.
We cover all like acne, rosacea. There's not a lot of companies that treat rosacea. So we do rosacea, acne. Another good thing is we can actually treat teenagers as well.
Oh.
Because due to the DermaShield technology, we're allowed to do 10 and above, which has never been done before.
Oh.
So like like teenagers with acne and the parents.
I didn't know that.
So with these products, we can do the retail and the in-clinic treatments to 10. Certain ones we have to wait till the 14, but most 10-year-olds don't have acne.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really nice service to be able to offer, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And is that on your subscription, or
that will be on a subscription as well?
Be.
The way the subscription will work is you'll get either one or the other Hydrofacial or peel per month. You can have it like up to two per month and have one of each every month. So you're having one Hydrofacial, one peel, because you can have maintenance treatments as well. But say if you're trying to tackle a specific concern, we can go in with a set plan. Because what we do is we get you into clinic for like a 45-minute skin analysis. We do it all properly, go through questions. The questions even ask you about your grandparents' skin.
Oh, really? It's really in depth.
Yeah, like, it's really, really in depth. You have to count like how many papules, how many pustules, how many it's so like we say, if you didn't apply sunscreen after 2 hours, what would your face look like? So we go through like allergies to gold.
That is so good, and I don't really know of anyone that's doing that.
No, so the questionnaire is about 45 questions.
Okay.
So it goes really, really in depth. It goes through like every allergy, every concern. How many cigarettes do you smoke a day? You know the line every time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whatever they say with cigarettes and smoking, double it, like drinking.
Quadruple it, yeah. Yeah. She's like, I don't drink, and she smells vodka.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. But so we put the plan together like that. It will give us the sequence of how often, what strengths we need to use.
Yeah.
And then we can put them on the plan, and the results have been so good already. Like, people are loving it.
Because
I only started doing retail this year.
Okay.
So I've always been like, I can't be arsed doing retail. It's too much messing about. I can't be bothered with the retail. And then when the pharmacy approached me, I've got a good story actually.
Okay, I'm ready.
When the pharmacy approached me, I was like, is it like, like every other peel or every other product line?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, let us come and show you. When she showed me, I was like, oh my God. So give it a go. And like, it's been flying out, and people like buying £500, £600, £700 at a time of the products. Wow. Like for the full, for a specific concern. And the good thing about it is, we do starter kits as well. So you can try a starter kit. But anyway, back to the story. The woman that runs the product side of the Acre Pharmacy, I actually met her when I was on a date, and she was on a date, and she was on the table sat next to me. And I think both of both of our dates went to the toilet, and I was like, should I go for a drink? And we didn't go for well, we had a drink at the bar, and she was like, what do you do?
So whilst your partners were both in the toilet, you've come together.
Yeah. Well, not together, but I was like, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, how boring is she? You know, she was trying to have a laugh, and she was just like having none of it. I was like, oh my
gosh.
So we ended up having a laugh ourselves. She added me on Instagram, and obviously years later, she's like, basically she was head of a department at Acre. She told me about it. I was like, no way, like I do injectables. Like, oh, no way. So then years later, she's seen all the stuff in the clinic.
Wow.
And then that's how she's seen the clinic from like over the past 2 years. And that's what asked her, because she actually asked me to be the brand ambassador. So I'm the brand ambassador of the new aesthetics.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's just like, everyone should talk about your business no matter what
this is it. And even you found a business opportunity on 100%. A date.
Yeah.
I mean, just goes to show you. And they've come back and probably saw you talking and been like, hang on a minute, what's happened here?
But yeah, it's like my friends will say to me, God, I should have about, you know, because like when I meet strangers, I'm like, oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like networking 24/7.
But it's how you get the opportunities and you get speaking. And there's always someone that knows someone, or someone that knows someone that's done something. So I always think that's a good shout to do that when you can, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Always talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Same thing, because I do property as well. That's nothing like, I've just been on holiday, and we were sat next to these people in the sunbeds. He's like, oh, I do property in London, and he had a podcast, he does property.
Yeah.
So I was like, so looking through all that, so eventually we'll go further down, because we've got a business partner that we do the properties with, like we do service accommodation.
That's great. So you're very, very busy, aren't you?
Full on.
Yeah, you don't do things by halves.
No, never.
And I think with business, if you don't shout about what you're doing, there's someone else that will, and then you're left behind again. Yeah. It's very competitive.
And it's like, it's just constantly advertising, like advertise yourself, advertise your business. You know, there's always, you never know who, I know it sounds like so, you know,
it's true,
cliche, but you never know who you sat next to.
It's true.
So, because who knows, I might not have done retail if I hadn't, you know, been speaking to the lady, and it might have gone, you know, who knows who would have been reselling some rubbish skincare brand.
No, definitely. And I think you're definitely like the epitome of an entrepreneur, for sure. Like, it's amazing. So,
yeah.
That's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I've really, really enjoyed speaking with Owen today. It's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And really, really nice to get him on and to have this chat. And we hope to see you next week.